So in today's video, I did something a little bit different. I decided to interview a competitive Fortnite player. So I decided to interview Nevify. He is a competitive player for Vista Esports, and he has around $5,000 earned from competitive events. For those of you who are aspiring competitive players, be sure to watch the whole thing because he gives great tips on how to place well in competitive. And Nevify does play on controllers, so if you guys are on the controller input, this will really help you. Also, please be sure to check out Nevify's socials. All of them are in the description. Please go check them out and I will give you a free cookie. So question number 1, what inspired you to go pro in competitive Fortnite?
Started way back in like COD, like, you know, if you know, like, I'm pretty sure everyone knows who Optic is, like way back in COD. Like I watched them and after they played competitive, I just got into the competitive scene from there, and I saw like Fortnite came out. I was like, okay, I'm gonna play this, just play with my friends. And after they announced competitive, and I've just been hooked on it ever since.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think, yeah, all of us can relate that competitive Fortnite's very addicting. But yeah, for sure. I mean, personally, I got into competitive Fortnite a little while back, like back in Chapter 2, Season 2. But yeah, that's pretty cool, bro. So, I guess the next question will be, this is more related to your personal setup, your personal gameplay. What controller do you use to play comp with?
I mean, I've been using the regular PS4 controller from time, and I don't think I'll ever switch.
Okay, so you've never considered, like, control freaks, I don't know, paddles, scuffs, anything?
None of that.
Interesting. Because I know, like, a lot of the people that are probably watching this video, they're probably thinking, like, you know, you need to have paddles to be good. So, you know, do you think that you need to, like, if you have those paddles, the control freaks, that it'll improve your gameplay, or do you think that...
I mean, it all depends, right? Because for controller players, if you're not playing claw or paddles, then you're just not going to be as, like, you're just holding yourself back at the end of the day.
Yeah. So, and actually tell me, do you play claw or do you play normal?
Yeah, right hand claw.
Okay, so yeah. Alright, so next question, and this is going to be, like, a bit of a broader topic. So, how did you find your ideal controller settings, and do you use linear or expo? Like, which one do you prefer?
Right now I use linear. My ideal controller settings, I mean, I've been testing it a lot. Like, every day I just change it, like, once in a while. But, like, it takes time to get used to something. It's just personal preference at the end of the day. But, I mean, right now I use linear, build and edit 2.3. I use 4040, and then after 88 ADS.
Okay, alright. So do you think that you use, like, pretty standard controller settings? Because I've seen your mechanics. Yeah. Your mechanics are, like, honestly some of the best I've seen among controller players. And, like, I don't know, it's just crazy how, like, well you can crank on those, on a normal PS4 controller and on those, you know, like, pretty standard settings.
Well, I mean, yeah, I've been playing, like, controller games for, like, my whole life. I never really played keyboard, so I just never touched keyboard. So that's probably why I'm, like, as fast.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
And so, like, and also, like, this is, you know, going on to that linear expo debate. Would you say that people can perform well this season, especially, like, with the recent, you know, nerfs and buffs to linear and expo? Do you think people can perform well in expo, or do you think that linear is kind of, like, what you should probably
It all depends on your playstyle, right? Like, I use linear mainly because I focus on, like, piece control and, like, mechanics. But, like, expo, I mean, expos look like more like aim. I don't know, it's like personal preference at the end of the day. You can use whichever one. There's a bunch of linear pros like Day, Marrow, and expo pros like Unknown.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So, yeah, I mean, I think that definitely both of them are pretty viable. And obviously you said that you work on piece control, which is, you know, something that's very important, especially amongst controller players. Like, all the controller players, you know, for the most part, most of them have pretty good mechanics and whatnot, like read and stuff. Okay, but so then moving into this, moves into our next question, which is going to be, what does your daily schedule look like? So do you go to school? Do you play, like, prac court, elite scrims? Like, are you in prac court, elite scrims? So, like, what is your daily schedule?
I'm not in prac, but I'm in, like, gold scrims. It's, like, third best, like, scrim court.
Okay. It's,
like, right below prac. But, usually they host, like, 6 to 8 or something like that. They usually announce, like, ladders and stuff. Oh, 6 to 9, my bad. But, yeah, I go to school, do my work, and then after I get on, like, at 4 or 5 Eastern, warm up, or I start my stream up, you know?
Yeah, okay.
For scrims.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So, like, it's a pretty, like, standard, like, I can guess competitive Fortnite schedule. It's basically, like, that's Kanata, that's what Kanata and Clicks did when they were in school, obviously. So, building on top of that, so, like, what time do you, like, I mean, obviously you have to wake up for school and stuff, but, like, what time do you try and, like, get off by? Because I know a lot of players say that, I can't play this late because my parents force me to go to sleep, or they're saying that I'm talking too loud at night. Do your parents, like, get irritated at that?
I mean, yeah, my mom gets, like, mad all the time, but, like, she supports me, right? So, like, it's whatever.
Okay.
Like, I stay up really late, but I try not to yell, like, when it's really, really late when everyone's sleeping.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So, and this is actually, speaking of parents, so how did you get your parents to kind of back you in the whole competitive Fortnite kind of idea?
They never really backed me up anything. They always wanted me to get a job, but, like, Winter Royale, once I made, like, like over 1,000 off of Winter Royale, then and they saw that, that's like when they started supporting me.
Okay, interesting. And actually, I forgot to ask, how old are you? Just to get some.
18.
18.
I just turned 18. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I guess my next question would be, and this is more like in the actual competitive Fortnite kind of idea. What is your playstyle for cash cups in like open events? So like opens of FNCS and like cash cups and stuff like that. Because I know you placed really well in the solo cash cup. You placed like 6th place, I believe.
Cash cups.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, first game, at least drop at least 8 kills. That's what I always aim for. At least 8 kills in a win. Once you do that, you just play hard end game and just pop off end game. At least get a kill or something off spawn, and that's it.
Okay, that's interesting. So, like, do you recommend people like land like a more passive drop spot, or do you recommend they land somewhere like Slurpee or like Holly Hedges to like get those kills?
I mean, it's all personal preference at the end of the day. Like, if you land Slurpee, fine, you get like off spawn kill, and if you rotate out, you're vibing.
Okay, all right.
It just depends.
All right. So, and like for FNCS, I actually don't know. Number one, who is your trio? How did you find your trio? Would you have any recommendations to find a trio for like
trios.
players?
I found my trio. Well, I mean, it's all off of connections. Basically, like, this one guy coached me in like one of my cash cups, and I got like 9th in it, right?
Yeah.
And then after the next thing you know, he has like friends and have like more connections. That's how I'm in my trio.
Okay, all right. And like, how would you recommend that players who aren't really like don't have too much PR, don't have too many placements, how would you recommend that they try to find better players to play with?
I mean, a lot of people like complain how they can't find trios. Only way you can really find trios at the moment is East Open, and people still complain, oh, they're not good enough. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if you really want it, you'll like try and carry them to get good placements, or you can like place in solos, and that'll prove that you're an actually good player to find like better trios and stuff like that.
Okay, all right. And speaking of solos, obviously, like I've said a million times before, you placed really well in the cash cup recently. What did you kind of do to prepare for that? Did you like VOD review? Did you do like, you obviously must do aim training and stuff like that? What do you do?
I mean, since I'm controller, there's like no like aim training like stuff, but like I just like, well, warming up, I just like free build or just 1v1 PGs, just like warm up my hands. But there's nothing you can really do for cash cups. Just have patience, bro. If you have patience, that's like the best thing. Okay,
all right, yeah, that's actually a good tip. And also, tell me, so have you qualified for heats yet? Like, what is that situation looking like? Are you going to get enough consistency?
Right now, we're kind of down bad. We did really poorly first week because of games crashing. That for my teammates' keyboard stopped working, so we couldn't even play. So like we couldn't make semis. That's how I played the cash cup and placed 6th in it. But we've got to place top 50 this week. But I'm really confident we can. I mean, we can easily do that. Okay,
and you got top 50 in round 3, correct?
No, not yet. We need to though.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So for qualifier 3, do you guys? I mean, if you guys like, how high do you have to place to get enough consistency? I'm pretty sure consistency is like the top 100 trios that don't qualify by like, you know, placing in round 4. So how much do you like? Where do you guys think? Where do you want to place this week?
Well, I mean, yeah, what we want to place is top 50. Like I said, we have to place top 50 to qualify for heats. I mean, it should be easy. We've been going over our games, so
yeah,
we can easily do it.
And do you guys VOD review together like every night? Like, what does that situation look like?
Well, I mean, just me and my trio mate, except for the third one. Third one just doesn't really talk. It's kind of annoying, but it's whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it'll come to around to it eventually, you know. Okay. So my next question is, what was that like kind of, and I mean, not everybody has this, but some people do. What was your big moment that solidified you as like an actual good competitive player? I started following you when you actually qualified for season 4 heats, is when I like, you know, heard about you.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like in my brain what the moment was, but you can tell me from your perspective.
What made me as a good player, has to be, me making trio heats and trio week 3 finals. That's really what put my name out there, especially with like the click speed that I had with him. And yeah.
Okay, all right. So and do you think that like you need that kind of pop off moment, or do you think that consistency will kind of get you up there in like the whole like, I guess, clout status?
Consistency is key, bro.
Yeah. All right.
Top 100s are always the wave, bro.
Okay. All right. So as a controller player, what role do you play in your trio, and what role should other competitive controller players fall into in a trio or a team in general?
Well, I mean, I remember last season it was me and my duo. He was controller too, and we IGL'd the keyboard player. We picked up like a 0 earn player just last second, and we did really good. I mean, it just depends, bro. Like most of these controller players just don't have like the brains, like, right? Like some of them are straight like dumb. But at the end of the day, you should be playing Fragger.
Yeah.
Fragger the most.
And do you play Fragger yourself?
Right now I co-IGL on Frag.
Okay, all right, interesting. Actually, yeah, I have always like that whole side of controller players like Colazo that like really IGL for their trio and stuff. Like I find that so interesting. And Colazo just recently popped off. He plays first, right, in week 3.
Yeah, almost like a 100-point lead.
Yeah, he popped off. So that's definitely cool. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Fragger is definitely a good role for controller players for now.
For sure, yeah.
So then my next question would be, and this is more like regarding Fortnite competitive, and obviously there's all this beef about Fortnite competitive screwing everything up and all that, whatever, all this drama. But what do you think about a year of trio FNCS? I personally love it, but I want to know what you think about it.
I mean, it benefits me, like me, like the pros, the tier 1s, like all those people, but like people that are like, that have no placements, like it doesn't really benefit them a lot because they have to find a trio, right? Since there's like barely need like solo tournaments, like it's affecting them a lot because they can't really like prove themselves.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Definitely.
That's the only problem I have.
Yeah, I mean, for like, once again, I'm gonna state my opinion here for a sec. So, in my opinion, like, as like a kind of person who likes to coach and kind of like make tips and tricks content, I've always loved the idea of Fortnite being one consistent game mode, kind of like Apex Legends, how it's like mainly trios and whatnot, and like I don't know, in other BR games like PUBG's, like most of the times it's either like duos or squads. But I think that Fortnite should really like add this kind of consistency for every year. Like maybe this year it's trios, maybe next year it's duos.
Yes.
I think
that'd be perfect.
I think that like that would be really good for Fortnite competitive. And I also I recommended this to I was in Shio's stream the other day. I was saying maybe they should do something like make another champion series, but not called FNCS. Like with maybe a smaller prize pool, but they should make that in like the off season for not as long, but just like for like 1 week. It should just be like FNCS V2 or something like that.
Yeah, that'd be perfect, but
yeah,
who knows, man? Competitors all go all over the place.
Yeah, right now for sure. Okay, so that actually segues into my last question. What would you recommend to beginner players in competitive and what they can do to improve and place better?
To improve, well, first work on your mechanics. Watch a lot of pros. You learn a lot from pros. Pros that I usually watch are like Macwin and Kanata. Those two are like insane at the game. Play arena, like practice like your right hand peaks, like piece control in arena. And for comp, it's gonna be really hard for you to find people, but like you gotta go through it. And if you really want it as bad as you like say you want it, then you'll actually like pop off.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely agree with that. But yeah, those are some pretty good tips. And once again, thank you for coming on for this interview. That was really good.
Thank you for having me here, bro. Appreciate it.
Yeah, perfect. Alright guys, that is the interview with Nevify on his competitive experience and some tips. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to like and sub for more. Also, please check out Nevify's socials in the description. He's an awesome guy and an awesome personality to follow in competitive Fortnite. But that's about it for this video guys. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye guys.